this section, we're going to look at the performance stage of the sports development pyramid. Let's take a few minutes to look at the learning outcomes. By the end of this section, you'll be able to recognise trends in sports performance, highlight the key elements of the performance stage of sports development, and also appreciate the factors influencing performance sport. Some recommended or core reading again. You see the hyperlink there for UK Sport. As we know, a very good website that we should be using. Also there's a hyperlink for game plan. You'll see this on your PowerPoint. That's a Department of Culture, Media and Sport document there. There's a kind of an action plan that's put in place. It's not currently used, but it's still a very relevant document to look at, and it highlights important issues. Well worth a look. You see a hyperlink as well on your PowerPoint for the UK coaching certificate. It's a very important element. I want you to appreciate and take a look at that for me as well. And also Sports Coach UK. That hyperlink will take you to a site which has a wealth of information regarding sports development, performance sport and many other areas of sport which are well worth taking a look at. Some text there, Hilton and Bramham, Sports Development, Policy, Process and Practice from 2002. And also Robson et al., Strategic Sports Development from 2013. Again, well worth looking at. So we've moved through the stages of the sports development pyramid there. We started off with the foundation phase and the participation phase. Now we're moving on to the performance stage, and we're going to take a little bit of time today to just sort of explore and investigate what goes on in the performance stage. So what I'd like you to do is describe in your own words what you think takes place in the performance stage of the sports development process. What you consider are the key elements for success at this stage of the pyramid. So the performance stage, you might be training or even competing at this level, aimed at supporting participants from a particular sports sphere. There's a level of specialisation here, which perhaps we don't see in the lower stages. Need to provide clear pathways in terms of progression from participation towards elite. And this stage is involved with the way in which sport is structured and also delivered. Key elements, and these really are crucial, I'm going to call them the 3 C's. Coaching, clubs and competitions. So let's take a look at coaching, which is an area close to my heart. I certainly enjoy being involved in coaching as much as possible. On the slide you will see, sports coaching is central to developing, sustaining and increasing participation in sport. It drives better performances and increased successes, as well as supporting key social and economic objectives throughout the UK. At all levels of society, coaches guide improvement in technical, tactical, physical, mental and lifestyle skills, contributing to personal and social developments. Look at the key elements at this level. As you can see, this comes from the UK Coaching Council framework, and we really need to appreciate the importance of the UKCC when we deal with this particular level of the sports development pyramid. The UK Coaching Certificate is an endorsement of sport-specific coach education qualifications that are aligned to an agreed framework. Sports Coach UK is the organisation tasked with supporting sports in order to develop UKCC qualifications. Sports Coach UK is a charitable organisation, and it's dedicated to development and implementation of coaches and coaching throughout the UK. However, as we've discussed previously, there still has to be an element there of sustainability, okay? It still needs to be able to sustain itself. So if we consider the UK coaching framework, we can see how it fits in. The framework aims to clearly map out the key goals, structures, resources and outcomes over 3 main phases. The first phase, it identifies and agrees the specific role to be played by Sports Coach UK as a government designated support and technical agency for coaching. Secondly, it identifies and agrees the optimal working arrangements between Sports Coach UK and key partners in government and governing bodies. It doesn't work in isolation. It works with things like Skills Active and NGBs like the FA. And thirdly, it identifies and agrees the processes and procedures required in order for Sports Coach UK to provide relevant, cutting-edge services, products and systems that help support the coaching process at all levels. As we can see, they provide a range of services. Let's take a look at the slide on the screen. We can see that's a 10-year plan starting in 2006. So this really outlines the UK coaching framework there. If we start from the bottom and build up, we can see the vision there was to create a cohesive, ethical, inclusive and valued coaching system where skilled coaches support children, players and athletes at all stages of their development in sport. The foundations were set there between 2006 and 2008 with the aim of becoming world number one by 2016. Whether or not that's actually happened, we could possibly debate there. Secondly, we can see between 2006 and 2012, sort of the side logo there says delivering the goods. This is really concerned with strategic action areas. The UK coaching system, frontline coaching, offering and delivering support for coaching and continuing to do that. Looking at sport as a professionally regulated vocation, okay, as other jobs are. And also the very important area there of research and development. If we look towards the top then, we can see the actually called transforming the system. And that was set in place there over 10 years, from 2006 to 2016. This is very results driven there, to enhance the quality of coaching at all stages, to provide active, skilled and qualified coaches to meet the demand where needed. This was hoped that it would lead to sustainability, as we've discussed, sustained and increased participation in sport, and also, quite crucially, as we move into the performance levels, improved performances. This will be underpinned by coaching as a professionally regulated profession. In terms of what Sports Coach UK do, they provide a programme of CPD workshops run nationwide. A few of you may have actually attended these workshops in the past. I certainly have, and I found them very beneficial. They also have a publication and other services, Coachwise being the main publication in which they offer. There's also, of course, web-based information via their website. Sports Coach UK also offer some web-based information, as most people do these days, and we will be able to see there on the PowerPoint, the accompanying PowerPoint, the website address. Also, they provide guidance documents related to engagement with UK Coaching Certificate. They also were involved in the implementation of a user guide for whole sport planning, which is very useful. And they also provide access to generic coaching events, such as coaching conferences and coaching summits, which are held regularly throughout the UK. All in all, they offer an extremely beneficial service to coaches. Okay, I'd like us to do another little task then, please. At this time, I want you to look at coaching levels. Have a little think about this. Again, go off into your groups, or if you work on your own, that's fine. I want you to consider how many levels of coaching qualifications are there in the coaching framework, and what is the coach qualified to do when they have qualified at each stage. So take some time to go have a look at that for me, and we'll get back together in a few minutes.